Hello everybody, this is TrebleKnight and welcome to a brand new video. I'm doing something a little bit different today. I've noticed a lot of people are making videos ranking stuff like the 16 personalities, and I'm not one for not jumping on trends, so I thought I'd give that trend a shot myself. But this time we're going to be ranking the 16 personality avatars based upon their design. So very subjective, very much my own opinion, but I stare at these avatars a lot for my videos, so I think I have a good opinion on each of them. Well, without further ado, let's get started. First off, we have ESFP, and I really like ESFP's little avatar design. You know, ESFP is a very happy kind of person. They're very brightly colored. They look happy. They're dancing. They got the maracas. And I feel like the maraca is like the ultimate SC instrument. It's something that you can just kind of pick up and go along with the beat. It's not like another instrument where it takes like a lot of time to learn, though I'm probably way off on this, and maracas are a very nuanced instrument to play. I just have never played them outside of elementary school. So yeah, S tier for ESFP. Next up, we have ENFJ, and I'm gonna put ENFJ female in B tier. And I just think she's kind of generic. But I do like the whole carrying the banner thing. It makes me think of the song Carrying the Banner from the Newsies. And that's what an ENFJ would do. Next up, we have the ENFJ male, and I'm gonna put this up a tier higher because he has a sword. Come on, like, a sword is infinitely cooler than a flag any day. You know, well, ENFJ female is the kindergarten teacher carrying around the flag so all their students know where they are. ENFJ guy is fighting wars against people, though, to be fair, I don't think Effie would be a particularly big fan of that. So maybe like from a sort of a perspective of like what would be more accurate, maybe maybe ENFJ is below. I don't know, but I'm gonna stick with it because we're talking more so design. Next up is we have ENTP, and I use ENTP a lot. I like ENTP, but I don't know. He's still kind of generic. So I'm just gonna put it here. And unfortunately, a lot of these images are cut off. I don't know how to fix that. I mean, I could just keep on cropping them and uploading them till they all fit, but I'm on a time crunch. So yeah, we're just gonna go with this. ENFP is next, and I don't know. I use ENFP a lot in my videos, mostly because I happen to like the ENFP personality, but I mean, I like the book bag. I like the tie, but the shorts, so it's this sort of quasi-professional look, which, actually, does ENFJ even have shorts? Let me check. Okay, so they're not shorts, they're kind of striped. So I feel like that sort of goes well with their demeanor. So I'm actually gonna put this in between ENFJ and ENTP, though ENTP does have that smug look, which is super fitting for him. Tough. I'm gonna give smug over like the semi-professional thing. Next up, we have the male ENFP, who also has a tie, interesting enough. I think these are like the most dapper. Well, no, there are other personalities with ties too. But ENFP's got the phone. He's got like the 2010 big thick glasses. A hairstyle actually kind of similar to ESTJ. You know, now that I think about it, ENFP kind of looks like Tyler Oakley. Does anyone else think that? But yeah, I'm gonna put him in B tier. ENTJ is next, and I'm gonna put ENTJ in A tier. I really like the ENTJ. I don't know. It's just like, she looks like she's ready to, boss people around. She's got the pointing stick. I mean, even like her hairstyle, it feels like sort of like CEO chic. But then we have ENTJ, and ENTJ has a sword, right? Which is big points. But that face, it's so derpy. And like the hat, I mean, this, like, without the sword, I think ENTJ would be C tier, like ENTJ guy, but the sword puts him in B, and in fact, I'm gonna put him in front of the ENFPs. So not quite beating smug, because that is just such a goofy looking face. Next up, we have female ENTP. I don't use female ENTP that much, and it's mostly because I try to use the avatar for the personality type that's more recognized. So like the female ENTJ is more recognizable, the female ENFP is more, the female INFP is more, and there are some where the male is more recognizable. It just depends on the personality type, and I'm not really sure why. We'll talk about that later, I'm sure. But for ENTP female, I'm gonna put it at the bottom here, because like she still has that smugness, but it's still so generic. So next up we have ESFJ, and while I do like the color blue, I don't know, like, she's just kind of, you know, sort of generic. She looks like she's hard at work, which is fitting for the personality type. She's social, she's on the phone, but at the same time, I don't know. I'm gonna put her in C tier. Why is C tier like the biggest of all of them? Are they expecting this to be the biggest section? ESFJ male is next, and I like the cake. Like, the cake is definitely brownie points, but it doesn't look like a very good cake. It's like, it's blue. Who wants a blue cake? And again, I just, generic type. One of the biggest personality types though, like, I guess ENFJ is also pretty big. And it looks like he's also going to fall. So I'm gonna put him just above ESFJ gal, solely for like the cake. The cake is brownie points. So next up we have ESFP male, and I'm gonna put him in B tier. You know, he looks so happy. I don't know. He just looks like a stereotypical comedian to me. Like his outfit, his expression, his hairstyle. And I mean, I feel like an ESFP comedian would be a pretty common ESFP job. Well, I mean, at least as common as a comedian is a job. Well, it's not exactly easy to make a living in that field. So yeah, I'm gonna put him in A tier, right in between ENFJ and ENTJ. Okay, next up we have ESTJ, and yeah, again, kind of generic like most of the blues. I think the ruler is funny, you know. I always sort of interpret that as ESTJ is going to hit you if you screw up. So I'm gonna put it in C tier just because it is such a generic avatar design. Where to put it though? I'm gonna put it in between these two right here. I feel like that's a good fitting. Next up we have ESTJ male, and I like the clipboard. I like the pointing up. It's like ESTJ is just popping in with a new idea. I like the energy that I feel from it. He also just feels like really dapper with his tie. So I'm gonna put it at the front of C tier. Next up we have ESTP female, and she looks like she's ready to do sports, which is kind of the stereotype of ESTPs. She looks very happy, definitely, and I enjoy that about her. But at the same time, she's just kind of sort of generic. So I'm gonna put her in B tier. Maybe like, yeah, maybe like right there. I don't know, I like the happy avatars. Next up we have ESTP, and I use this avatar a lot because I like to poke fun at this personality type. ESTP, he thinks he's cool. He's got the sunglasses, he's got the handbag that just says sport. So I'm gonna put it in B tier. I don't think it's quite A tier. Let's put it right before like ENTP smug, but like right after ENTJ goofy sword. Next up we have female INFJ, and next up we have female INFJs. She's got that sort of medieval fantasy thing going. She's got the finger pointing. Go, because obviously INFJs aren't going to do the work. They're going to tell other people to do the work for them. So for the fantasy aspect, I'm gonna put it in B tier, probably right after ENTJ, or A tier. No, not, there we go. No, come on. Okay, there we go. Apparently this website seems to get glitchy when you start adding a lot of characters to it. Next up we have male INFJ, and I really like this appearance. He kind of almost looks like Dumbledore, sort of. He's got a really cool wizard robe. He's got the beard with a ponytail, which is pretty cool. He's also got the wand. So I'm gonna put this in, actually, I'm gonna put this in S tier. I really like the fantasy aspect, though I think ESFP is still higher because she just looks so darn happy. Now we have male INFP, and I mean, he's Frodo from Lord of the Rings, right? He's a hobbit, he's got the ring, he's fantasy. That is S tier, and that is top of S tier. If I can get it to work. I do not use the male INFP guy very often because he's not as recognizable in the videos, but I really do like the avatar. And who knows, maybe I'll use him a bit more often. But like I said, I'm trying to go for brand recognition. Next up, we have female INFP, and I really do like this avatar. I like the whole, you know, hippie flower girl thing it's got going on. Very, very fantasy. Not quite as good as Frodo, though. Hey, come on, you can't beat Frodo. So I guess the question is before ESFP or after ESFP? I'm gonna go ahead, and maybe that's bias. It could be. It probably is, not gonna lie. But that is my ranking there. Next up, we have male INTJ. And male INTJ. I think it's a cool looking avatar. He looks like he's being very strategic, which is what this personality type would be. He's actually supposed to be looking at chess, but I have that taken off. So I'm gonna put INTJ in A tier, right in between ENFJ and ESFP. Next up, we have female ENTJ, who I think just kind of is sort of generic. She's one of the glasses types. Not that many personality types have glasses. And she's definitely looking like she's thinking, but I don't know. I'm gonna put it in B tier, right about there. Next up, we have the INTP chemist. And I really do like this avatar. I think it's pretty cool. You know, she looks like she's doing science. She's got the chemical in the bottle. Who knows what the chemical is? Hopefully it's not something really bad. But I do like it, so we're gonna put an A tier right here. And unfortunately, male INTP is one I don't like. I find it very generic. He just kind of looks like a dude. I do like that he's working on a robot. I think that's cool. So I'm gonna put it in B tier. It's funny how like certain personality type avatars become more popular. Like the female INTP is used a lot more than the male INTP, but there are a lot more male INTPs than female INTPs. At least that's generally from what I've seen. So let's put I'm gonna put it right above ESTP because that robot really helps. So next up we have ISFJ with the Don Quixote armor and the sword, which, you know, makes him pretty cool, even if it is Don Quixote armor. So this is going to make him like the only blue not in C tier, and you know what? A tier for the sword. Let's put him right above female INFJ. Next up, we have ISFJ, who is a nurse, which seems fitting. But it's just a generic nurse, not even like a sexy nurse. But I do think that's a fitting job for an ISFJ. I do like it, so we're gonna put it at the end of B tier. Next up, we have female ISFP, who is an artist. I also really enjoy like the paint stains on her, like what do you call, like, overalls? I think that's a really nice touch. So I'm gonna put this in A tier, maybe right after ESFP, because I do like the art style. I do like the artist getup. I think overall she looks pretty good. She's definitely a unique avatar. Then we have male ISFP, and I prefer this one because he's got a guitar, and that's pretty darn awesome. And he just kind of looks like the kind of guy who would go to like a children's hospital and, you know, play songs for the kids and do sing-alongs and things like that, which is something that I feel like ISFPs would definitely do. And because that's so darn sweet, oh gosh, we're putting him in A tier, right? I was gonna put him in B tier, but like the idea of him entertaining sick kids at a hospital, we're gonna put him before ESFP or after? Before, because again, that's just such a sweet thing to do. ISTJ, female here. I kind of like the whole Lady Liberty thing. Definitely helps her from being generic. So I'm gonna put her in B tier, right above, ISFJ. Next up, we have ISTJ, who's mostly cut off. ISTJ, he's one of my favorite avatars. I don't know what it is. Maybe I just like old people. But I feel like it's so fitting with his personality. He's got the checkboard, and I don't know. I think it works well. I feel like most ISTJ adult male ones would look like that. So we're putting him in S tier, like the only personality type of the blue variety in S tier. And we're gonna put him, I'm gonna put him in front of INFJ. Next up, we have female ISTP. I love the giant wrench. I think that's cool. The wink that she does, she knows what she's doing, or I guess she doesn't know what she's doing, but she'll figure it out, dang nabbit. Overall, I just kind of like the steampunk look that she has. So I'm gonna put her in A tier, and we're gonna put her right in front of INTJ. And then finally, we have ISTP, who has lots of tools. Like, I mean, female has the giant wrench, but male he's got a drill, he's got a wrench, he's got, well, it's a mini wrench, and he's got a little hammer. He's also got goggles, which is pretty cool. So A tier, the goggles put him just above giant wrench, because I think goggles cooler than giant wrench. And I'm just gonna look over here, see if I want to change anything. Anyway, guys, I think that's about it. I like all of the avatars. I don't really think any of them are that bad, which is why, you know, the lowest is C tier. Plus, I don't know, I wouldn't want to put anything in like the D or F tier, because I think they're all pretty good. I think the people who designed these things worked really hard on them, and I think a lot of them are really, really, really good. Obviously, I have my own personal biases on like how I see the types and just personal choice, but I'm curious what you guys think. What avatar is the best in your mind? But that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Special thanks to my patrons, and check out whatever video the YouTube algorithm is recommending to you. Anyway, I'll catch you guys all next time.